Nearly a dozen inmates have escaped a New Orleans jail, including inmates charged with murder. And when you see the method that they use to escape, it doesn't look too hard. They just cut through a wall. And one of them even wrote above the hole, "This was too easy." But this is what's going on. This is huge news. There's a massive manhunt underway. New Orleans jail inmates charged with murder and other crimes escaped. One is in custody after this jailbreak. An urgent manhunt was underway Friday after nearly a dozen inmates escaped from a New Orleans jail between Thursday night and Friday morning. As authorities said, they're investigating if the escape was an inside job. Officials shared a photo of the hole used by the 10 inmates to escape, which appeared to have been hidden behind a toilet. Chief of Corrections Jaworski said during a news conference that there was, quote, several security breaches. He added toiletries in a handicap cell were used to remove some of the bolts and toilets. But we know that this could not be removed from the inside, so we are investigating to see exactly who entered these areas and what kind of work was done, if there was work being done, and if this was an inside job. So this is the photo here. I do have a better picture right here. If you look, I guess this is where a toilet used to be. And I don't know if that hole was there or if they cut through the hole. But this is where these inmates escaped. And keep in mind, some of these inmates were in jail for murder. So these are not just petty crimes. These are people that have done some serious stuff, allegedly. And if you look right here, right below this arrow, it says "too easy, LOL," and then a bunch of other expletives. But that is what happened. Is a major manhunt underway right now for these inmates, and Fox News is reporting on this. Take a look.
All right, back to this massive story we're covering out of New Orleans, Louisiana. 11 escaped inmates. There is a manhunt underway at this hour. We have a brand new statement in from the Attorney General of Louisiana. It says, quote, "Someone clearly dropped the ball and there is no excuse for this. I'm in communication with Troop NOLA and the LA State Police, Louisiana State Police Superintendent Colonel Hodges. It's all hands on deck. The first priority in any escape must be the immediate capture of the inmates in coordination with state and local law enforcement. But that effort cannot come at the expense of timely notification to the public, which is also critical to keeping communities safe. My office will do whatever it takes to determine how this happened and make sure that it won't happen again. I'm calling on a full investigation. This is beyond unacceptable. And once these offenders are back in custody, there must be real accountability." John, this, as we have more brand new information, that they do not have two of those back in custody. We were reporting, per their statement, that they had caught two and put back into jail two of these escaped inmates. They are now issuing a correction from the sheriff's office that only one inmate has been captured. There are 10 still on the run.
Yeah, and that fellow was captured in the French Quarter. Had not gone that far. No idea where all of the other inmates went, if they stayed in the city or if they're trying to get out of the city. I mean, there's lots of places to hide in Louisiana. There's no question about that. But
So the dude was caught in the French Quarter.
Underway to try to get these inmates back because, as you pointed out, Sandra, some of them are very dangerous. We don't know if they've managed to arm themselves since their escape. But you can bet, given what they were in jail for, that they are people that you don't want to encounter.
Okay, so a little more information here from the sheriff's office on the one captured inmate, Kendall Miles, currently back in custody. He's being rebooked at the facility for a new charge of what they're calling simple escape. The deputies found him hiding underneath a car at a local hotel on Royal Street. He was in a parking garage at the hotel, John. He was then transported back to the jail by the Louisiana State Police. The remaining individuals are still being actively pursued, and our deputies, in collaboration with local and state law enforcement.
So this Kendall Miles guy, he clearly is the less smart one. I'm assuming all these other people might have been trying to get out of the state. I don't know. But Kendall Miles, he goes to the French Quarter, which is not like it's a place that doesn't have a lot of people milling about on a regular basis, and he is caught under a car. But local authorities have launched a full manhunt for these people. And they are taking this, I guess, seriously. It kind of reminds me of not too long ago when Georgia, there was a guy that was just walked out the front door. He was in prison for murder charges. And there was a mistake, a clerical error, or a mistake by someone, and he was walked out the front of the prison and let go. I mean, this is more of an act of escape by prisoners, but it seems like such a preventable thing, you know? And that's why they're looking into whether or not maybe someone from the inside had something to do with this, because from what I gathered, that toilet or that piece of equipment could not be removed from the wall from the inmate side of the prison. But they're also talking about this. This is the New Orleans police giving a press conference talking about what they are actively doing in order to pursue these individuals.
You know that these inmates went missing around sometime after midnight. The sheriff's office didn't find out until 8:30 this morning. The public was not notified until sometime after 10 o'clock this morning. How crucial is time to, number one, recapture these individuals, but also to alert partner agencies as well as the public to be on the lookout for these people?
That's why I'm here. So I only learned about it as well. And I spoke with the sheriff, and she was going to be doing her immediate response.
Wait a second. So the police found out about the same time the public did? So the crime happened, and a couple hours later, the public found out, and somewhere in between there, the police found out. So it's almost as if the jail didn't want to admit to their mistake, or maybe there's some funny business going on. And finally, it got to the point where they had to, and this was hours later.
We wanted to give her that opportunity to do so, and I understand that she has, but we were not going to wait. So when we learned about it, we knew the immediacy to at least inform the public. Even if we didn't have pictures ready and all of the names ready, we didn't have that either. But we need to let our public know. Again, if you see something and you feel that it's not, a hunch is okay, folks. You just call us, and we're going to check that out.
Do you feel like she should have notified sooner?
You know something, we'll deal with that at another time, but we are working collaboratively, as we always have. But we, wanted to immediately notify our public because we knew that these escapees would be in our city.
Is it concerning to you that you all were not notified until 10:30 when they knew about this at an 8:30 head count?
Of course, it's concerning. Of course it is. But
at least you gave a straight answer there.
The issue is more immediate than are we concerned. The issue is, but it's unlikely.
How are you all able, NOPD, able to apprehend that one escapee who is in custody?
If I'm not mistaken, it was through a camera.
Yes.
So right now, y'all, we have, through Project NOLA, the cameras do have facial recognition technology. I'm not going to get into it other than to tell you this is the exact.
Wait a second. I didn't know that. What did she say? Project NOLA? So that I'm assuming refers to NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana. They have facial recognition. I was not aware of that. That's very interesting. Do you think that police should have access to facial recognition software? Meaning, do you believe that the government should have access to facial recognition software where they can put up cameras to recognize anyone who walks by? And I this is one of those things. Do you respect security or do you respect privacy? Me personally, I'm more of a privacy type of person. But that is interesting. I did not know that New Orleans had facial recognition in their cameras.
Reason why facial recognition technology is so critical and is well within our boundaries of the ordinance here, because we are allowed to use facial recognition technology in an event just like this, okay? And so we are already using our technology to leverage and help us, and I believe that was how we got an identification.
Okay, so they caught the guy using facial recognition software. We also have a statement from this individual, this officer. I believe he is also from the New Orleans Police Department.
Of approximately 11 individuals that had breached or escaped our custody. So those individuals right now are named. So 1 through 11, Antoine Massey. All of these are adult males, if you will. Linton Van Buren, Jermaine Donald, Leo Tate, Kendall Miles, Derek Groves, Corey Boyd, Gary Price, Robert Moody.
Okay, so I kind of went over some of the names earlier, but what do you guys think? What do you guys think of this whole situation? In particular, what do you think about the span of time between when the prison knew these inmates escaped to where the public knew, and also why weren't the police, alerted to what had happened after such a long span of time went by? Kind of seems a little sus. I get it sometimes, something bad happens, you're like, oh, dang it, can I fix this? And then you realize it's unfixable, so then you have to go tell somebody, and you just look like more of an idiot. That could be the situation going on here. But I don't know. It just seems like a really long span of time between the public knowing about it and this happening. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like, subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate it. But until then, I'll see you on the next one.